any good crime show, you tend to see investigators conducting a police lineup. In fact, there are many criminal cases solely based on the testimony of an eyewitness. But is that truly reliable? According to the Innocence Project, 239 convictions have been overturned using DNA that were based on faulty eyewitness testimonies. On top of the 1/3 of the 239 were based on more than 2 witnesses. So with that being said, exactly how credible is an eyewitness to a case? Also, why do police allow a case to be based on eyewitness testimony and circumstantial evidence? Over the years, there have been many cases that have been overturned to new evidence. Cases that potentially put a person behind bars for the rest of their lives based on a faulty identification by a witness. According to psychologist Saul Leod, a eyewitness is a legal term. It refers to an account given by a person that has been in a traumatic event. So with that being said, think about back to a childhood memory. Whether it was playing with a friend or even going to a grocery store with a parent. How vivid is that memory? Can you remember every little detail about the event? Probably not. So how is it fair to base a person's freedom on the memory from the past? Eyewitness testimony is both fundamentally unreliable and over-relied on by investigators. So in 1992, there were a pair of American lawyers that teamed up to make the Innocence Project. As of March 23, 2016, the Innocence Project has overturned 340 cases that were on people who had been wrongly convicted. 239 of those cases were based on one or more eyewitness testimonies and circumstantial evidence. Later, they had been exonerated by DNA evidence. There are many factors that contribute to eyewitness testimony. There are psychological factors that can change and affect what a person has seen. The factors include things such as anxiety and stress, weapon focus, reconstructive memory, and witness leading. There are investigators that when they conduct an interview on a person in a high-profile case, many officers feel rushed to make an arrest, so they tend to have more pressure on the person they're interviewing, causing them to kind of lead them to questions, maybe trying to put thoughts in their head that might not have been there. So, a psychologist has proven that when a person is in a traumatic event, they're more focused on the weapon than who was holding the weapon, maybe where they were at, the details of what the person who committed the crime was wearing. This is called weapon focusing. So when the victim is describing the crime, they're more able to tend to recall the weapon a lot better than describing the crime itself. In conclusion, basing a criminal case by eyewitness testimony is vastly unrealistic. All memory is based off a reconstructive process. The act of putting fragments of memory together piece by piece. When doing this, many witnesses draw information from outside sources to better recall the incident, whether it is from investigators, media, lawyers, or other eyewitnesses. Because when a witness goes after the crime and they see what the lawyers are telling them, what they see from media, they tend to put images in their head, maybe transforming the crime and what they at first thought they seen. They start to form a memory that they just remember, but also from what others tend to have them believe, thus corrupting the witness and leading investigators to collect biased information.